Fear, it is a word people avoid, deny, suppress, and disguise. They call it weakness, they call it an enemy, they call it something to overcome, push aside, or eliminate. People spend their whole lives trying to escape it, pretending it doesn't exist, or convincing themselves they have mastered it. But what they fail to see is the truth that hides behind every great achievement, every bold step, every moment of courage, every breakthrough. Fear was there. Fear was present. Fear was alive inside them. Fear was not the enemy. Fear was the silent force whispering, urging, pushing them forward even when they thought they were alone. Fear is the silent motivator that shapes destinies, awakens potential, and drives people to rise beyond their limitations. Most people misunderstand fear. They think fear is the sign they should stop. They think fear means something is wrong, that they're not ready, that they're not capable, that success is beyond their reach. But fear is not a stop sign. Fear is a signal. Fear is proof that what you are about to do has the power to change your life. Fear shows up not when you are weak, but when you are on the edge, on the threshold of growth, transformation, expansion. Fear appears when you are stepping beyond who you were yesterday and reaching into who you are meant to become. If you feel fear, you are exactly where you need to be. Fear is silent, but its message is loud if you learn how to listen. It says, this matters. It says, pay attention. It says, step carefully, but step forward. It says, you are capable of so much more than you believe. Fear does not exist to stop you. Fear exists to wake you up. When you feel fear, your senses sharpen, your mind focuses, your awareness heightens. Fear prepares you. It pushes you into a state where you can rise with more intention, more strength, and more clarity. Fear, when embraced, becomes a powerful friend. The truth is that every person you admire, every leader, every champion, every innovator, every icon, was afraid. They did not rise because they felt fearless. They rose because they felt fear and moved anyway. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the presence or absence of fear, it is the relationship they have with it. Most people run from fear. Successful people run with fear. They take fear by the hand and allow it to guide them toward the unknown, knowing that the unknown is where greatness lies. Fear is silent because it doesn't demand your attention. It doesn't shout, it doesn't scream. Instead, it waits, observing you, studying you, watching how you react. Fear is patient. It waits to see if you will let it paralyze you or empower you. When you let fear control you, you shrink, you avoid risks, you stay small, you stay safe, you stay trapped in the familiar. But when you choose to interpret fear differently, when you see it as a sign that you're stepping into something meaningful, you grow. You stretch, you rise. You break through the barriers that once felt impossible. Fear as a silent motivator does not push you aggressively. It nudges. It whispers. It encourages you to lean forward, even slightly. It challenges you to imagine what could exist on the other side of your hesitation. And once you take the first step, fear transforms. It becomes energy. It becomes focus. It becomes momentum. Fear is the spark that ignites the fire of courage. But understand this. Courage does not exist without fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision that something else is more important than fear. When you feel fear and still act, you step into courage. And courage is what unlocks the doors that fear was guarding. Fear is the gatekeeper, but courage is the key. The silent motivator of fear pushes you to prepare. When you fear failure, you work harder. When you fear regret, you take action. When you fear being stuck, you move. When you fear losing your chance, you seize the moment. Fear creates urgency. Fear awakens discipline. Fear strengthens your focus. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, sharpen your strengths, and rise to meet your potential. Fear will push you to practice when others rest. Fear will push you to study when others procrastinate. Fear will push you to evolve while others stay the same. Fear, when embraced, creates a level of commitment that comfort never could. Comfort makes you lazy. Comfort sedates your ambition. Comfort dulls your hunger. But fear ignites it. Fear keeps your mind sharp and your spirit alive. The person who uses fear as fuel becomes unstoppable because they are no longer controlled by it. They are empowered by it. Some people believe fear is something to fight. But fighting fear only strengthens it. Resisting fear makes it louder. The more you try to eliminate fear, the more it controls you. But when you acknowledge it, understand it, and work with it, fear becomes manageable, even useful. Fear loses its power the moment you stop seeing it as a threat and start seeing it as a teacher. Fear teaches you self-awareness. It reveals what you truly want, what you truly care about, and what you are willing to sacrifice. Fear exposes your values. If you fear losing something, it means it matters to you. If you fear missing an opportunity, it means that opportunity is aligned with your purpose. Fear shows you where passion lies. People fear most deeply in the areas where they dream most deeply. Fear also teaches humility. It reminds you that you are human, that you are imperfect, that you are learning, growing, evolving. Fear strips away arrogance and replaces it with hunger. It reminds you that you must earn success, not expect it. Fear keeps you alert, aware, and grounded, but fear also reveals your strength. You do not know how strong you are until fear challenges you. When fear stands in front of you and you keep moving, you discover a power inside you that you did not know existed. Fear will try to intimidate you, but when you step forward anyway, fear becomes the very thing that strengthens your resolve. Each time you act despite fear, you grow bolder. Your courage expands. Your confidence increases. You begin to trust yourself more deeply. The shadow side of fear, the part people try to avoid, is where the deepest motivation lies. People don't change when they're comfortable. They change when staying the same becomes more frightening than the unknown. People don't chase dreams when they're content. They chase dreams when the fear of regret burns stronger than the fear of failure. People don't rise when everything is easy. They rise when fear whispers, "If you don't do this now, you may never get this chance again." That whisper can move mountains. Fear is silent, but its message is powerful. Do not waste your life. Fear reminds you that time is limited, that chances are fragile, that dreams are perishable. Fear pushes you to live fully, deeply, intentionally. The fear of regret is one of the most powerful forces you will ever feel. Regret is a heavier burden than failure. Failure is temporary. Regret lasts forever. Fear warns you before that regret is born. Fear also pushes you to rise above mediocrity. Anyone can live an average life. Anyone can play safe. Anyone can settle. But fear whispers to the bold. Fear whispers to the dreamers, the builders, the creators, the warriors, the believers. Fear whispers to the ones who feel something inside them that refuses to settle. Fear tells you, there is more inside you than you are showing. There is more potential than you are using. There is more greatness waiting for you. But you must go after it. Fear reminds you that you have something to lose, something to gain, something to fight for. Fear is the proof that your dream is alive. If you didn't care, you wouldn't feel fear. If the dream didn't matter, you would feel nothing. Fear is emotional evidence that your heart is engaged. And when your heart is engaged, you will do whatever it takes. The key to using fear as a silent motivator is to shift your perspective. Most people focus on, what if I fail? But successful people focus on, what if I succeed? Most people think, what if something goes wrong? But successful people think, what if this changes everything? Most people see fear as a wall. Successful people see fear as a door that opens when you push. Fear is not trying to stop you. Fear is trying to prepare you. Fear is not asking you to retreat. Fear is asking you to step up. Fear is your mind telling you, this matters enough to risk discomfort. And anything that matters deeply is worth that discomfort. But fear also needs direction. If you don't control fear, it will control you. If you let fear run wild, it becomes anxiety. If you channel fear, it becomes energy. If you use fear, it becomes power. The way you interpret fear determines your destiny. The moment you say, I feel fear, but I choose to act, you reclaim control. You shift from being a victim of your thoughts to the leader of your future. You transform fear into fuel. You turn hesitation into movement. You turn danger into opportunity. Fear as a silent motivator also teaches you patience. Fear slows you down just enough to make you think. It teaches you to prepare before you leap, to strategize before you move, to analyze before you act. Fear makes you cautious, but not paralyzed. Fear helps you avoid recklessness. It helps you make smarter decisions. It sharpens your instincts. When used correctly, fear is wisdom disguised as emotion. Fear will reveal your passion. What you fear losing the most is what you care about the most. What you fear failing at is what you believe in. What you fear not achieving is what your soul was meant to chase. Fear exposes your purpose. The greater the fear, the deeper the desire behind it. Fear also makes victories sweeter. When you achieve something that once terrified you, the sense of pride, strength, and accomplishment becomes indescribable. You don't just win, you transform. You realize that the barrier you once believed was real existed only in your mind. And once you conquer one fear, you begin to see that you can conquer anything. People often say, "I wish I wasn't afraid." But you should be grateful for your fear. Fear shows you that you're alive. Fear shows you that you're evolving. Fear shows you that you're stepping into new territory. Fear shows you that you're not settling. Fear shows you that you are reaching beyond your comfort zone. Fear is the silent reminder that something extraordinary is possible. You cannot create a powerful life without fear. You cannot build a dream without fear. You cannot chase greatness without fear. The presence of fear does not mean you are unprepared. It means you are standing in front of something meaningful. Understand this deeply: fear is always present before growth. Fear shows up right before your breakthrough, right before your transformation, right before your step into the unknown. Fear appears when you're leveling up. That is why fear feels so intense. It mirrors the size of the opportunity ahead of you. Small dreams create small fears. Big dreams create big fears. But big fears come with big rewards. Imagine if you embraced fear instead of running from it. Imagine if you used fear as motivation instead of seeing it as a warning. Imagine if you let fear guide you toward your destiny instead of letting it imprison you. You would become unstoppable. Because nothing could hold you back. Not doubt, not discomfort, not uncertainty. Fear would become your ally, your mentor, your driver. Fear is not here to punish you. Fear is here to prepare you. It is shaping you, refining you, sharpening you into someone capable of holding the dream you seek. Fear challenges you because your dream demands someone stronger than your current self. Fear pushes you to become that person. So let fear motivate you. Let fear be the energy behind your actions. Let fear be the voice that pushes you to try again, to rise again, to take one more step, even when you're trembling. Let fear remind you that you are on the right path. Let fear push you toward the life you've been avoiding out of hesitation. One day you will look back and realize that fear didn't stop you. Fear guided you. Fear strengthened you. Fear shaped you. Fear motivated you toward your destiny. And you will understand that without fear, you would never have discovered your courage. Fear as the silent motivator is not a burden. It is a gift that urges you to live fully, love deeply, dream boldly, and rise courageously. Fear whispers to you not to retreat, but to rise, not to shrink, but to expand, not to hide, but to step into the fullness of your potential. Fear is not your enemy, it is your awakening. And if you learn to listen to it, work with it, and use it, fear will take you to places you never imagined you could reach. Fear is the silent motivator. Let it motivate you into your greatness.